Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is Second's Diary. I make sewing tutorial. Today's tutorial is this cute dress. So get your fabric, grab the end of your fabric like this and just fold in a triangular shape like this. That's if you want the dress to be really baggy, like really circular, like umbrella, then do it. If not, just don't go all the way and don't make a full triangle like that. Anyway, so find a place where you can mark your shoulder, half of your shoulder length. Okay, so I'm just marking the neckline. The width of the neckline is, I'm using 3.5. You can use 3, you can use 2.5. It depends how big you are. And then I'm marking my shoulder measurement, and then I'll come down by 1 inch and just connect the neck width to the shoulder slope. I'm just making a shoulder slope. If you're not new here, you should be used to making this. So my neck depth for the back is 1 inch, so I've just connected that, as you could see. Now I'm doing the front neckline. I'm marking the front neckline. I decided to go for 4 inches, and I'm just connecting that with my curve ruler. If you don't have a curve ruler, you can freestyle this. We've done other tutorials where I haven't used any tools and we still make it work. So don't worry if you don't have all these tools. But if you do want to buy the tools, Amazon, I get everything from Amazon because it's just easy. Delivery and everything. Anyway, now we're just going to move on to the armhole. Half of my armhole is 8 inches, but I like to just do 9 inches because I like everything baggy. Okay, I'm just going to connect the neckline. I'm going to connect the shoulder to the armhole. So I'm doing the armhole. Just bring that out a bit more. And because obviously the style of this dress is like umbrella, really once you connect that, you're going to have a big enough to, it will be big enough for your bust and your waist and your hips. So I didn't really measure it, I just connected it all the way down. And like I said, if you don't want it too baggy, then don't make the triangle all the way. You could do it like halfway. So I'm just marking the length of my dress and just going round like that. I decided to do 35. So I'm marking 35 inches because I'll be joining like a gathered fabric at the end of the fabric. So you could do whatever length you want. So the full length I want is 40 inches. So I did 35 for the dress, and my gathered fabric that I'll be joining to it will be 5 inches long. 6 inches plus seam allowance, of course. So I'm just cutting, but if you're not adding any gathers to yours, then just do the length of the dress you want straight away. Okay, so I'm just cutting out the back pattern. You can see I've only cut out the 1 inch neck depth, and I'm just doing it again on another fabric folded in triangle, and I'm just going to cut that out. This is like a really baggy dress, really big, but I like, especially because it's hot at the moment, Yeah, I like wearing baggy free clothes when it's really hot, so that's why I made this dress. So yeah, but if you don't want it too baggy, like I said, make sure you don't make the triangle like a full triangle. You can do it like halfway. Maybe next time when I make it, I can make another tutorial on that. But if you really want a baggy like umbrella sort of dress, then just do this. And that, we've got our pattern, and we're just going to cut the front one, cut the front neckline only on the top fabric. So I'm only cutting the top fabric, make sure. And that's the front neckline. We have our back and our front pattern. And just making sure that it's equal. So I'm just finding out, because I'd like to add pockets to my dress. Depends on you. If you want to add pockets, you can do so. If you don't want to, just leave this part out. But what I'm doing is measuring 15 inches from that shoulder slope, and then from there mark 7 inches, and that will be where your pocket will be. So your pocket will be, so make sure you cut out your fabric for your pocket. And I'm just measuring the bottom because, like I said earlier, I'll be making gathered fabric for the bottom of my dress. So I'm just cutting out 7 inches, 1 inch for seam allowance, 1 inch for joining allowance. I've measured the bottom of my dress, then I'm just going to times that by 2, and then you do that twice, 1 for the front, 1 for the back. Though you can times it by 3, however it depends how full you want your fabric, but I don't want mine too full, just a little bit gathered. So I think I did less than double the length of the fabric. Anyway, now I'm just marking 2.5 inches from the neckline. This is if you want the hole, is there a hole? The hole at the front anyway. If you want that, then you mark 2 inches from, and then the length, where would you want it to stop? I think mine was a bit too low. After doing it, I was just thinking, ooh, risky. But if you don't mind it being risky, then you can do 8 inches. But if you don't want to be to risk anything, then I would say 6 inches is good enough, to be honest. And don't try to bring it closer to the neckline. I mean, when you draw the curve at the bottom, it was what I realized when I did mine. It was more like it was too straight up and down. It should be more sideways. I don't know how to explain it, but it was still okay. But just try not to go down by 8 inches. Maybe go down by 6 inches so it won't be too revealing. And make sure when you come down, you see where the curve is at the bottom. Make sure it's not straight down, then your bra will be showing. So make sure it's more bent towards the neckline. So I'm just cutting out just a random piece of fabric that's big enough to cover the hole, and that will be for the interface like that. I'm just going to sew. I'll pin that down, then sew round. You can see how I'm pinning that. I'm going to sew around the hole we've made. Okay, sew it all the way around like that. And then once you're done, you're just going to cut out the middle. Make sure you don't cut the thread whilst you're doing that. Just cut that around to cut out the shape. Really, we're just doing we're making interface. When you're doing this, you're going to sew that scrap fabric on the right. Okay, right sides facing each other, and then when you do that, you just make some notches around the curve so it's easy to. I'm just getting rid of the excess fabric. If you're not new here, you can see that sometimes I like to freestyle stuff. I didn't measure this fabric that I used. I just placed it on top, and you can see the way I'm cutting it out, there's no measurements. And then I'll just fold that in like so, iron that down, stays nice and flat. You can decide to use MN glue to hold that down if you don't want any top stitch, or you just top stitch it with matching thread. But what I've done is I've folded the raw edges in like that, and I added the MN tape, which worked well for me. You can see I'm adding the MN tape, so instead of seeing the top stitch, you can see the MN tape. You just use the MN tape. But if you prefer the top stitch, and that's good too. And now I'm just on the back pattern, trying to make, just cutting out about 5 to 6 inches, and that's where the button will go at the back. So I'm just going to join the shoulders. Once I join the shoulders, I'm going to attach the pockets as well. I'm just making the pocket. You measure 7 inches by 10. This is random. This is not like how to make a pocket. This is just me freestyling. I just tend to mark about 7 inches width and then 10-inch length, and then make a curve at the bottom. You can even put your hand on the fabric, fold it into 4, by the way, and because you need 4 of those U-shape fabric. So you can put your hand on it and just like draw around it, but I just like to do it like this, more straightforward. So there you go. I'm attaching my fabric. As you can see, I'm using a different print for the pocket because I ran out of fabric. I ran out of that main fabric, so I'm using a different fabric from the pocket. It doesn't matter really, and this is for me. I'm not selling this, so it's fine. And plus it will match the gathers at the edge of the dress anyway, so it's fine. This is me trying to get rid of those stickers, those silly stickers that come with buying Ankara. Okay, joined my pocket, right sides facing each other. I do that on all 4 sides, and now I'm just trying to prepare the gathers for the bottom of the dress. I hemmed it first, then I gathered stitch I did the long stitch on the rough edge. I'm just gathering that. I'm pulling the thread to gather it. Once gathered, I have enough length, then I will sew it onto the bottom of the dress. I'm just attaching my gathered fabric to the bottom of the dress. Okay, that's all done, all gathered and all attached. Looking cute. As you can see, not too much gathered because I didn't use a lot enough length fabric, but that's what I wanted. I didn't want anything crazy because already the dress was baggy. So but it's up to you, whatever you like. I'm making like a puffy sleeve, so I'm just marking 14 inches. I folded my fabric and I'm going down by 3 inches. To be honest, this is a freestyle sleeve. This is not how to make a sleeve, I repeat. But this works, okay? And that's what I'm gonna stick by. If you want to learn how to make a proper sleeve, do check other channels that know how to make proper sleeve. Okay, I'm too lazy for that. And yeah, the bottom is about 15 as well because I'm going to gather it with elastic. So the more fabric you have, the more puffy your sleeve will be. And you can see that's gonna work, right? And I place it on top of another folded fabric so I can cut the second sleeve out. Don't forget to fold your fabric. Anyway, I find the midpoint, so I'm attaching it to the shoulder area and the armhole area. And just go around. What I do is attach this ends, the top, the ends, and then the middle. That way, when I make this sort of freestyle sleeve, sometimes it can turn out to be a teeny bit too big for the armhole area. So what I do, I just, especially if it's like a puffy sleeve, I just do like pleats like this, which even gives it a better look, in my opinion anyway. But if you're going to be selling these, if you're making these to sell, make sure that you know how to properly do the sleeve and everything. Okay, just attaching the sleeves to the armhole. And as you can see, I've attached the sleeve with the pleats and everything. It's looking good. Now I'm just using a bias tape to finish off the neckline. And I'm just going to join everything at the sides and we have our dress. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something or gained